Hello, everyone. I'm just making sure that I'm actually live right now. This is like a fish out of water, at least for this live streaming thing. So, see, there we go. I already have some feedback from my iPhone watching the comments. So, well, welcome everybody to the inaugural Beyond the Imaginary Watch Me Work YouTube live. Hopefully we can make something cool tonight. A little bit about myself. My name is Jason Higdon. I am from the bluegrass state of Kentucky. I have been a digital artist for the past 20 years, mainly in the photography world. I have been a portrait artist for my wife and I own a photography company, and I have taught Photoshop across the country, and now I have stepped into this world of AI, which is it's quite exciting. And I know a lot of people, especially in my business, the photographers, they are terrified. They hate they hate AI right now. So, but to preface that with me, well, we started our photography business back when digital became a thing. So they were, the film photographers back in that day were terrified of what digital was going to bring to the photography world. It ended up making it, it really made it explode, and so many people enjoy photography because of that. And I think AI now is just, it's that next evolution of a tool that we can use to create art. So you're going to have to, I'm going to try to go through my process of how I make these videos. Looks like some people are already popping on. So Johnny B, good to see you. Drew Hall, nice to see you. Kate Higdon is my lovely wife. Oh, she says keep up. Yeah, keep up or get left behind. Yeah, that's right. I mean, I love it. It's just like I said, it's another tool. I think people have this common misconception about AI. It's like everything you see was just somebody typed it in as a text prompt, and next thing you know, AI spit out this creation, and it's not the way it is. It's just a tool. It's just like Photoshop is to me. It's another way to bring in those ideas that just live in your head that you just can't get out. You can bring them out, and you can share those ideas with people in a way now that's unlike anything ever before. And I get it. I get the artists that are kind of nervous that it's gonna devalue what they do. I don't think that's it at all. I think it's just another way for other people to express themselves. So let's see. Looks like there's several people popping on. So I guess what we will start doing is I want to go through my process of, I'm not going to, my process is sometimes very long and daunting. So I'm not going to keep you guys forever, but I'd say we spend a good hour maybe going over the tools that I use, my processes. My intention when I was going to do this live was I was going to start from scratch, just completely from scratch. And then I realized, you know what? I spend a lot of time in ChatGPT just kind of back and forth coming up with ideas. So I've kind of done a little bit of that legwork, but I'll show you what I've done. I will take the exact same text prompts that that I've used, and I'll put them in a community show notes. Okay, my wife she's supposed to come give me the update if it sounds good and everything. So she gave me the thumbs up, so I'm guessing that's okay. And like I said, this is my first time doing a YouTube live stream. I'm not a streamer in any way, shape, or form. At 50 years old, I'm just barely keep up with the technology that is rapid firing right now. So if there's anything that if you can't hear, or if it's too loud, or if you hear pops or creaks or whatever, you're going to hear some dogs probably, because we have two little dogs that like to play with squeaky toys and bark. Maybe the family arguing downstairs, so you may get to hear some of that as well. But just keeping it real here, and hopefully I'll keep an eye on your questions, and we can answer those as we go along. Also, let me kind of, the way I work, my workflow is, it's going to be very hard for me because you are watching one screen out of my 3 monitor setup. So I'm going to try to keep things in the middle. Just, it's going to be back and forth. So you're going to have to bear with me because I'm going to be kind of waffling back and forth between different things, but I'm going to try to keep everything that I'm doing in the middle here. So let's start out with, I will go to, we'll start with ChatGPT. He is my go-to guy. And I'm going to, I think what I've decided I was going to do is kind of, Star Wars seems to be the low-hanging fruit. I've made several Star Wars videos. Because I'm a big Star Wars fan, I thought, let's just do like another Star Wars parody like I did a couple weeks ago. And one of the trending things on YouTube is something about 1950s, you know, Panavision, you know, whatever. And there's all kinds of these videos like that. So let me see, I'm just reading comments. I keep forgetting to look, so I want to make sure I'm not losing anything. But I thought what I could do is make a Star Wars parody, like in 1950s. Now, there's several of these out there. You go to YouTube and you type in Star Wars 1950 Panavision, all this, you get a ton of them, and I get it. And several of them are pretty funny. And I kind of had a different take. I want to make sure that it has that 1950s B-movie feel, like, you know, cheesy graphics pop up on the screen. You got the, you know, low budget sets and everything like that. The characters aren't going to look like my Darth Vader is not going to look like Darth Vader. C-3PO is not going to look like C-3PO. We're going to have, you know, the characters, you know, we're going to put the spirit of Star Wars into it, but we're going to have our own character design into this, so to speak, and it's going to have that 50s B-movie feel. I think that would be funny. I think that just that contrast between different styles. I do want to show you how I started out with ChatGPT for this particular one, because this is kind of important. Usually when I start with an idea, this is, now I have a feeling you're not going to be able to see my, as far as like the screen goes, is that too hard to read? Because I have a high resolution monitor, and it's converting it down to 1080p, and I'm not sure what we're going to be able to see, but I can probably bring up a notepad and maybe make it easier for everyone to see. Let's see, let me make the fonts a little larger on this. Maybe I can do this. Maybe it'll make it easier for people to see it throughout. Okay, the wife says she can see it. It's a little small. Let me try to make it even bigger. Okay. A lot of times I will, like, I'll just sit with ChatGPT and I'll just say, help me brainstorm ideas. You know, I've done this in the past. I've done this in the past. What are some other cool things? What are some other good mashups with different projects that would be interesting that the audience might find, you know, funny or engaging? And we'll sit around and just, we'll sit around like we're old, you know, college buddies, and we're just having a beer and sitting around and laughing about Star Wars. But okay, she says it's good now, so that must be a lot better. And again, I will take anything I'm showing you text-wise, I will copy those, and after this broadcast, I will go into my community section and make a post and post all of the different prompts that I do use. So, you know, you can take these and you can try these, and hopefully that will kind of help you get a lot, you know, get further down the road. a thing you can do with prompts like this too, you can go into ChatGPT and give it a prompt that it gave you from another thread, and say, you know, I want you to take this prompt so I can give it to ChatGPT, but I want, instead of Star Wars, I want it to be, weird science, or I want it to be, the Breakfast Club, and it will take what you've given it and change all these things out. I can actually show you that here in a second, but here's how I started out. I always tell it, number one, that you're going to become, I want you to take on the persona of an Oscar award-winning 1950s B-movie film trailer producer. So I want you to create an engaging and clever script along with shot sequences for a reimagined version of Star Wars as if it was low-budget Technicolor B-movie made in 1950. It says before. Now this right here is the gold. I didn't come up with this myself. I've learned it. I wish I could give credit where credit is due, but I forget where I've learned this. But it's a part of ChatGPT that is very important, because ChatGPT is kind of predictive text. It's writing things out and it's predicting what the next word will be. So if you can have it kind of know what to expect before it writes out what you want, then it will get a much more rich response. So what it's kind of like having a rap battle. You can either jump up on stage with somebody you've never met and try to do a rap battle and diss them, or you can, know something about the person, get up on the stage and, give a rap battle. I know you're thinking, what does a 50-year-old white man know about rap battles? But, I have seen 8 Mile, so that's my qualifications. But anyway, so it says, before you write the script, I want you to thoroughly consider what it would make, or what would make a trailer exciting, engaging, era appropriate. Please elaborate on your reasoning and include details such as, and then give it details that you think will be important to your project, like how the 1950s sci-fi aesthetic influences the tone and pacing of the script, how to incorporate exaggerated dramatic narration typical of the era, how to emphasize the charm of low-budget effects, cheesy props, painted backdrops, and imaginative sound design, while still capturing the grandeur of Star Wars, the kinds of taglines and visuals and music cues that would resonate with the 1950s audience. So it says, once you've explained your thought process, please write out a narrator script, which will be voiced over with an AI text-to-voice generator. The script should be between 90 seconds and 2 minutes long, and include dynamic rhythmic lines with dramatic pauses. Make sure it leans into the limitations of low-budget filmmaking while celebrating the creativity and charm of the era. Finally, include a brief description of the corresponding visuals and shot sequences that would appear alongside the narration. Now, I'm not that intelligent to write what I just wrote to you, but I gave it the gist in another prompt, and I said on another thread in ChatGPT, and I said, this is what I want to say. This is what I want to tell ChatGPT. So give me a good, a powerful script that can really help me maximize the output of ChatGPT, and it created this. So don't think that I have some sort of, I don't know, skill to write such a, and this description is pretty over the top, but it does help, and it does bring out really good scripts a lot of times. I mean, nothing's going to be perfect, and I'm going to end up changing them. In fact, here we go again. This is going to be very, very small. I don't know if there's a way to, I can zoom in on this a little bit. Okay. It's when it starts out now, it's doing its rationale. It's thinking through what a 1950s sci-fi aesthetic tone would look like, the dramatic narrations, the low budget cheesy props, the taglines, kind of things that would happen in the 50s. And then it started writing out a script. Approximately 2 minutes it took to write this script out. And I liked what it had. Like it, from the outer reaches of the galaxy, far, far away, comes a breathtaking spectacle, unlike any of the silver screen has seen, and then it's talking about, we're going to see plastic model spaceships dangling across the painted stars, supported by barely concealed wires. And these kind of things right here are going to come up later when we do prompting for the prompts we're going to animate. So for the text prompts to image, the image prompts are going to be coming from these kind of things. It's going to know what it recommended, and it's going to put those into image prompts. And let me pause to make sure I can see what people are saying. Okay, 8 Mile, LOL. I got an 8 Mile. I got an 8 Mile project coming up too. I think it's going to be funny, but I bring that up because Eminem's been on my mind lately. I guess I don't know. And we got he's kind of going on and on, and I realized when I get to here that it said, "See Luke Starkiller." So whenever it says Luke Starkiller, I mean that's not Star Wars. I want I want Luke Skywalker. So I realized at one point that, as funny as this is, I could go through and change everything, or I could even tell ChatGPT, I like that, but I want it to be Star Wars. So make Darth Vader, or make Luke Skywalker, make these characters true to the story of Star Wars, and it will do that for me. But there's a few things that it like. I'm trying to find some of the like it's called Star Quest instead of Star Wars, and it's even going to give me like a brief idea of the shot sequences based on a 90-minute video. So okay, we've got all this, and I started getting into music at that point. But with this, I'm like, okay, we're going, it's all well and good. And what I realized was let me see if I can find it. I told it that I wanted to do a reimagined version of Star Wars. So it took my prompt as saying, like, I want to do something that's like Star Wars, not Star Wars. So I ended up doing like what I do all the time. And I go to other AI generators, and I would go to, I went to Claude, which is Anthropic, I guess is the name of the company. And that's their ChatGPT, or that's their GPT. And I did the same thing. I told it that I wanted, I wanted to be an Oscar, the same prompt I did for ChatGPT, pasted it into Claude to see what it came up with. Because Claude actually is one of the more creative GPTs. I think ChatGPT had come out with the O1 model, and it was a little more analytical, but it also was more creative. But back in the what was it, the 4, what was it, you got GPT. O1 is the new version. 4.0 was the older version, but O1 really makes some creative things. But I thought, let's give Claude a try. So I mean, it's the same thing. It came up a little, it did the same analysis. It laid out what it should have. Space, some of the things are clever. Sometimes you can read through the scripts and find little pieces that you will eventually incorporate into your final script. But we've got like, he's still the same kind of, low budget stuff like sparkler style, laser lightsaber effects and things like that. I like these Marvel at The Last Stand Against Tyranny from the Stars. I mean, this sounds very 50s to me, what you always see in the cheesy B-movie trailers. And I told it, I talked to it real. I said, shake it out and give it another go. So here it goes. It writes another one. And this one, it's taken it from the standpoint that it's the year 1977, which, who doesn't remember 77? That was a good year, wasn't it? It kind of talks about like Luke Skywalker is like an Earth hero and everything else, and with his allies, a mysterious desert wizard, a dashing space pirate, and mechanical man from beyond the stars. I mean, that stuff's going to be gold, I think, in my final rendition of all this. I mean, those are the kind of things that exactly what I'm looking for. Then I just told it, I read it, and I'm like, okay, another, and it kind of just like re-rolls the whole thing. It comes up with it. I mean, the thing about these GPTs is they're never going to get irritated with you telling it to do another one. It's just going to keep going. And let me just go ahead and check the using the AI prompt to help create another prompt. Yeah, I mean that's to me is like sometimes I'm like I want to prompt this GPT and I don't want to get it wrong, so let's go have it prompt my prompt, and then it's like it really refines the prompt, and then like I'm asking itself to refine itself, and then it does great. Um, okay, I told it to do it. I told it to do it again. And then what I did was I went to, well, let's see, we've got, we go to Grok, and we've got Grok, we've got kind of the same deal. Let me see if I can. Same deal. I ask it the same question, and Grok comes up with a whole. I mean, Grok is the thing like about Grok. It's a little raw. It gets a little more irreverent sometimes. You can even tell it to be more irreverent, but it kind of came up with its own. It seemed a little basic to me, but it still did a pretty good idea. And what I'd end up doing was I took every one of the scripts that it gave me, and I copied every single one of them, and I gave it to both Grok, well, all Grok, Claude, and ChatGPT, and I told it, here are several scripts that were created with this thought in mind from, from the different, from Grok, from Claude, from ChatGPT, and I want you to, I think I told it even, it said, here are several responses from other AI. Review these and consider your own, and let's create a winner. And I gave it to it again, and it kind of took different bits and pieces of some of the other scripts, and Grok didn't do a good job. It's not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not bad, but I did the same thing to Claude. I said, here are the same scripts. I said, give me the best out of everything, and it came up with one that was pretty good. And then going back to ChatGPT, hope I don't make people dizzy here with my scrolling. I pasted all those back in there, and then it says, below is a combined best of script that fuses the standout elements from all the various AI generated responses, blah, blah, blah. And I really like this one, the winner, Star Wars: A Consummate Crusade. And it kind of gives me, it breaks it down into the opening. I think it gives it a good length. So it's like, from the uncharted depths of the galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies the laws known to man, every law known to man. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you would hear from a 1950s sci-fi movie. So I thought this one really sounded good. It kind of, has the title card, introducing the heroes. It kind of says join, actually here, this one says Star Killer again, but he's going to be Luke Skywalker. But join, as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you how you can take this script, take that script and rename any character that isn't correct to Star Wars. And then, you just tell it what to do. I don't get a lot of opportunity to tell people what to do around the house, so I'm usually on the receiving end of being told what to do. So I'll probably get a comment here in a second from that comment. All right, I got a dog here that's gonna take the noisiest toy that she can find and want to play with me now. Okay, so yeah, you see now join looks, so I don't even have to go, I don't have to worry about changing it or doing anything. We got join Luke Skywalker, and all, as he's a humble farm boy with his eyes set on the stars who's suddenly thrust into a galactic struggle for freedom. And hang on, I'm going to have to. Yeah, I know you're still there, honey. I'm gonna. Speaking of honey, I need you to come get the little white dog because she's got the little toy that's got the crinkle in it, and it's I can hear it crinkling in the mic. Let's see. So now we got, we're going to have, it kind of goes through all the characters. And this is kind of exactly how I want it to go. I want to introduce the characters. I think that'll give it, since this is only going to be like a 90-second to 2-minute video, we're going to hit all the characters at first, introduce them, have them doing something that you kind of get established and recognize them. And then it'll do this, it's dramatic, all of the dialogue going on with the narrator. Yep, there she is. She's wanting to be heard. Okay, and then we'll kind of end it with like some action. We'll do the characters that have been established will be doing different things, and yeah, it kind of goes through what each one, how we do this. The climax, it's got all this, and okay, the title appears, and then don't miss the breathtaking drama, the pulse pounding action, and the wonders of tomorrow in Star Wars: A Cosmic Crusade, coming soon to I might probably say a drive-in theater because I think that's always funny because I don't know who on here remembers the drive-in theater, but we actually still have one not too far away, which is, I don't know, it's nostalgia on a screen right there. Let's see. Okay, what I will do. Okay, I don't want to get stuck too long on ChatGPT because that's a whole day in and of itself. But I think what I like to do a lot of times is take the narrator script, and what I like to do, because I've covered all the GPTs now. I'm going to go to 11 Labs now. 11 Labs is, for those who are not familiar, it is a text-to-speech generator. It also has speech-to-speech generator, where I can actually record speech, and it will take that speech and convert it to a different voice. It has sound effects as well, and I'll try to go over some of those here. And it's a great tool for doing the voiceovers, character actors and everything else, just to kind of give it that next level on your videos. But I'm going to take, we'll just start out with the beginning. A lot of times I don't like to go too much. I like to keep I don't like to copy all the narration at one time. I like to keep it somewhat loose, because if I don't like the inflection of a tone midway through a long script, then I have to go through all the trouble of editing out one little section. But if I do it in little bits, let me keep it zoomed in so you can see. Okay, I go to the voices. I have several different voices that I have just created based on one way you can get good 1950s voices is find some old video of 1950s advertisements. You have to take the audio, strip off any of the background music, and then you can use that as the base for training AI to do the voice. This is my guy that I usually use for 1950 stuff.
Life is like a sewer. What you get out of it depends on what you put into it.
I found another one where I took actual voices from 1950 movie trailers, and
a touch of love makes everything better.
This guy, he sounded really good whenever he did narrations, but when it goes through this, it just doesn't have that oomph. So I'm going to go with my 1950s broadcaster guy. So you basically are taking bits and pieces of the script. So from the Uncharted Depths of the Galaxy, I look through it because I can have him change the inflection of his tone by adding punctuation. So it's like, if I want to say from uncharted depths of the galaxy beyond imagination, I want him to say that with some emphasis. I'll exclamation point that. Comes a new kind of space adventure. You know, everything's so daring. I want him to be over the top with everything. Okay, this last one already has the exclamation point. We'll run that.
From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies every law known to man.
Sometimes you can take words and, like, if you capital all of them, it will help him to say those a little louder, you know, give it a little more emphasis. We'll see if that helps any.
From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies...
Okay, that one already sounds beat. Let's go to settings. We can actually make him a little more variable in speech. There's some settings you can change. I want to keep high similarity, but style exaggeration, I want to exaggerate. You go over too much, it's going to get a little crazy, but we'll try that again.
From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies every law known to man.
That wasn't too bad. It's a little bit slow, so I don't know.
From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies every law known to man.
Okay, we'll keep that one right now. What I will do is I will take each clip as I go. I'm going to save these. Let me show you where I'm going here with this. I've got a Star Wars in 1950. I'm going to do a folder called narration. And I usually will change this, since it's the first line of the narration, I just give it a 1. And let's see, we go back to our, I'm gonna close as many things as I can, because I'm not gonna try to text the resources of this computer. I don't want this stream to get laggy. But okay, he says, all right, the narrator comes back in. Let me check the, can you declare and change tone? Do you mean change tone of the speech, like in 11 Labs? You can't do a whole lot as far as telling it to do. Like, I wish you could be more, you actually may be able to now, because I think that was a feature that many people were wanting. I think they were wanting to, like, put in brackets, like, you know, with gusto or whispered, or, you know, do different things where it can actually change the tones and things. But as far as I know right now, you really can't. Okay, so I've got the second.
Join young Luke Skywalker, a humble farm boy with his eyes on the stars, who is suddenly thrust into a galactic struggle for freedom.
Okay, I mean, that's good. You know, that's not too bad. Sometimes you re-roll, sometimes you don't. Sometimes I do, even when I don't need to. And I think that's what drives my wife crazy. I'm always doing that kind of stuff. It's good enough. Leave it alone. I'll maybe do one more, and then let's see. Actually, I'm going to do the. I'm going to do this last one. emphasize these. Okay, Johnny B says, is this free version or subscription? All my stuff is subscription. I wish I could help people more, teaching them what's free, what's not. But to be honest with you, I try free stuff and I run out of credits. So I'm either gonna have to wait till the next day or the next month. And I'm like, okay, if I find it useful, I usually subscribe. So a lot of these tools, you do have limited use free. So I know like I'm thinking even like Kling and some of the things we're gonna get into, the video generators, I think you even get like, so many credits a day. I mean, it's very small. Plus you don't have fast generation. So a single video might take you 20 minutes to have it render. So it's kind of one of those things where it's, if you're gonna, I am by no means making a living on this. In fact, I would absolutely love to make enough money just to cover the costs of all my subscriptions that I won't tell my wife how much.
Don't miss the breathtaking drama, the pulse-pounding action, and the wonders of tomorrow in Star Wars, A Cosmic Crusade, coming soon to a theater near you.
Okay, that sounded okay at first. That actually did not hit like I thought it would. I'm probably not going to call it a Cosmic Crusade, but one thing you can do.
Don't miss the breathtaking drama, the pulse-pounding action, and the wonders of tomorrow in Star Wars, A Cosmic Crusade, coming soon to a drive-in theater near you.
One more roll. I'm not gonna leave that dramatic pause. And
don't miss the breathtaking drama, the pulse-pounding action, and the wonders of tomorrow in Star Wars, A Cosmic Crusade, coming soon to a drive-in theater near you.
That's not bad. I mean, if there's parts of it that I want to keep, I've got the audio file. I can also just like copy this out and then just do several versions of this.
Star Wars, A Cosmic Crusade.
So that's not bad. I like that one better. And that's what I'll just, when I have my video editing, and I'll actually, I'll save these two out and I'll show you how I might do that. So it will be saved to, this is the ending. And this is the, actually, shoot, did I?
Don't miss the breath.
Okay, I saved that. Now I need to save this one as well. I'll download MP3 of that, save it, and I want to be ending add. So I know to add that little, this will be a little section will be added in later. Now, since I'm in 11 Labs, I won't have to come back to it. I'll show you some of the things like with the sound effects. Like I know I'm going to need, like a voice or like a, let's see, the sound of Darth Vader. So I'm going to say like mechanical, apparatus inhaling inhaling and exhaling, and I'll generate a sound effect. This thing is, I have a subscription to, it's called Envato, and they have a lot of sound effects that, professionally made sound effects that are royalty free. But with this thing here, I just stay here. I get the sound effects I need. Okay, that's. I didn't quite get it. So let's do like gritty, mechanical. We'll try the same thing. We'll say we'll put gritty on it, so it kind of gives it like a A little more of a raspy tone, hopefully. That was terrifying. Okay, I can probably play. That's actually kind of funny. So that's going to be my Darth Vader. I'll go back and just do a new folder called sound effects, and then we'll just leave it as it's called gritty breathing. I think that sounds kind of okay. And we'll just say like we'll do like a sound of a low say the sound of a low budget laser blaster. I mean, that's what it's going to be. So let's see what it comes up with if it knows what it's talking about. Usually well, that sounds like a I'll say a 1950s low budget laser blaster. Sometimes giving it little keywords will trigger it to do something that's related to that genre, or that, to 1950s, it may know what you're talking about. There's a couple of them that might not be too bad. We'll say laser sword. I don't know. I won't play around with that too long, but you get the point. You can throw out several different sounds. I know one thing I'm going to need in the soundtrack is like a 1950s. I don't know how you spell theremin. Is it theremin? Theremin. I think is how you spell. Okay. That's like the little device where you have two rods and you bring your hands into them and it's like, woo. That's a theremin. So I'm going to say a 1950s theremin sci-fi sound. Oh, and to answer Johnny B's question, which one do I think are most worth it? 11 Labs is, to me, it's invaluable because this is the only one I really use for voice and these sound effects. Some of them, like when I first started, I tried to do these on Pika, which is, I saw a tutorial on YouTube about people making these videos and they use Pika, and I use Pika, and I found it. I still have Pika, but I don't use it very much at all. And then it went to Runway. Runway was the cat's pajamas. It was fantastic, at least for its time. And then all of a sudden, Luma Dreamlabs came out, and I was doing everything in Luma. And then Runway went to Gen 3, and Gen 3 blew Luma away. And then I got into high-low, how do you say it? The high-low, I don't know. Minimax. We'll call it Minimax because that's what they call it. Minimax. And also Kling. I had both of those together to try them both out. The Minimax did a really good job at first, and then I started playing around with Kling, especially the 1.6 professional mode, and it just, everything I've been doing the last several videos have all been Kling, and you'll see why, but that was probably the most pricey one as far as per use. Like every time I click go, it's like 35 cents for a video, for a 5-second video. And that can kind of, as long as you're not re-rolling, it's okay. I mean, the Star Wars video I did not too long ago about if the Rebels lost, it had 60 scenes in it that had to be rendered. Now, some of those were rendered in than Minimax, and some of them were rendered in. I think Runway did a couple. I don't think Luma made any of the cuts on that one because it's hard. But the thing about Runway is it's unlimited. Minimax for me is unlimited as well. I mean, I say it's unlimited. It's not free unlimited. I pay for the unlimited use of it. But the thing about with Kling, there's no unlimited feature. So I mean, when you use your credits, you use your credits. And let's see what we got with the theremin. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Okay, something you can do, because right now it does an automatic section, and I want to do more like a 5-second clip of that. I hope I don't break anybody's eardrums with these. So I think I was trying to answer Johnny B's question. I don't know. I mean, it all depends on just don't become too invested in any tool, because tomorrow another tool is going to take its place, or one of them is going to improve and it's going to get better. So you can jump back and forth. I think with Runway, when I first started this, I thought Runway's it. This is what I'm going to be using. That's it. I'm going to buy a year subscription, and I did. So I'm kind of stuck with Runway, even though I use Runway now probably the least. But it still does a good job, and I think they are evolving as well. I think they're going to come out with some new models soon. But okay, that kind of sound right there might make the cut. But these are going to be like background elements. So I'll keep this to the sound effects because I'm probably going to use it. Okay. I keep hearing that sound. I think my wife has it going and it's echoing through the mic. Okay. Okay. So I've got some sound. I've jumped from ChatGPT. We've created our script. I've kind of got an idea of what I'm going to be doing, where I'm going to be going with it. And then I go to, I came into 11 Labs to take the narration that ChatGPT gave me so I can establish the narration. I'm going to go ahead and, this is usually where I do go, is to CapCut. You can use any, video editing software you want to. There's several good ones out there. I think like DaVinci Resolve is free. It's kind of limited in its use for the free version. They have like a studio version, but CapCut, now I did learn, the hard way that you get tied to one program. Like I have the Adobe Suite. I mean, I've been in Photoshop for over 20 years. I got the Adobe Suite, so I've got access to Audition, and I got Premiere Pro, and I've got all the Adobe tools, the whole suite. So Premiere Pro is just a little bit more than I need, really, and it's a little more difficult. This is so user-friendly. So you're pretty much just going to take all of your clips that we've made, and some sound effects, and you just drop them into your media folder, and then you can take these to the timeline. Like, let's take this as audio.
In the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies every law known to man. Join young Luke Skywalker.
Okay, and then I've got the ending. Okay, this one ending here is going to be a clip. So what I will do here let me turn this guy off for the time
Taking
being.
drama. The Pulse Wars. Star Wars. A cosmic crusade. Coming soon to a drive-in. And the wonders of tomorrow in Star Wars.
Okay, so right here is where he says Star Wars. So I'm just going to cut that, and I'm going to take out
Cosmic Crusade.
Okay, he takes it to, he takes it to this spot here. So then I will take this section where I like him saying Star Wars better, and we will.
Of tomorrow in Star Wars: A Cosmic Crusade, coming soon to a drive-in theater near you. Star Wars: A Cosmic Crusade, coming soon to a drive-in theater near you.
I'm not loving those, but they're gonna get changed. But you get the gist. Like I have patched in 2 different soundtracks into the one, so now I've got that in my sound timeline. So I've kind of got the narration.
Galaxy beyond imagination.
And what I like to do is a lot of times I will jump. Sometimes this next step, sometimes I'll start with the music. Sometimes I want to find the music because the music kind of inspires me to do the next thing. So I'm going to start with the, I'm going to go now to one of my go-to, well, this is usually my go-to music. It's Suno. And it makes great, like, let's just see here. Like this was the song for the Rebel Run.
Met a dark lord at them crossroads. Oh Lord!
Kind of
Trading souls for imperial gold.
The way, like all of the everything in the parentheses, kind of gives it background.
Rebel Run.
Somebody kind of in the background, have mercy, and all that stuff. So
when them moons
really,
align
really
at midnight, have mercy. I hear dead squadrons cry. Oh my rebel soul! Twisted metal in the sand dunes.
Suno is I will create. I'm going to tell it because I've already tried this. I'm basically going to tell it I need a sci-fi. Well, actually, how am I going to say it? Let's see. Background music for a 1950s sci-fi version of Star Wars. And I'm not going to tell it much more. I'm just going to tell it that's what I want. I want it to be instrumental. So I'll create. Thing I like about Suno is it's fast. Now Udemy, on the other hand, it's not nearly as fast, but like I can start listening to this this rendition of what I ask it to give me almost immediately. And that's not the vibe I'm going for. You know, I'm not getting rockabilly futuristic interject. So I can tell it I don't want rockabilly, but you know, I've tried several versions. Like when I first started it, I was like, I mean, it's all of this. It's really too instrumental, too orchestral. It's just not. No matter what I tried, there's no 1950s film. This is close. It's not too bad. But then it gets to that, and I'm like, it sounds like a soap opera. So, where I find Suno excels is if I've got a song like, again, going back to, like I did the song about, it's just like, you know, the two different animals, like the predator and the prey, and I did that little video about, you know, they're friends, and it's like, I said, you know, I kind of was just playing around, and I heard like a bossa nova version of this song, and I'm like, that's the kind of feel I would like for the video I'm going to do. So I used those taglines. It's like it's pretty simple. It's
Who's there?
it's UK garage, Basanova
Should I
jazz.
run?
Why would you flee?
Are you friend or
And
foe?
then with, you know,
Decide.
This
it
feels
made this song, which,
risky.
you know,
At least
for,
you
for
try.
an AI
so
song,
close?
it's pretty good,
Just
in my opinion. I really
Teeth
like it.
like that.
And
Their harm.
then we're gonna go to its little brother, Udio, and it's a little more raw. It's a little harder to get, but I have found the I kind of started doing the same. Well, let me just take, if I still got it, if I take this and start a new creation, describe my song. I want background music for a 1950s sci-fi version of Star Wars. I want it to be instrumental. I'm going to do the Udio 130, make it a longer clip. Prompt strength, I do want, there's no lyrics, so none of this really applies. And I'm going to hit create. Now it's not nearly as fast. I'm going to let them run, but I've done the same thing on these other ones, and it will take this prompt, unless you tell it that you've got this manual mode where I can turn manual mode on, and it will not mess with the prompt I gave it. It will leave it like that and just stick with it. But with this manual mode off, it will take that prompt and kind of give it, it'll kind of throw in things it thinks are necessary, or kind of mix with this and that along this, along the same genre lines. But I came up with, like, I think I've hearted a few of them here. It's a film score, so it's kind of different throughout. So probably take this and different pieces off at different parts in the trailer. So like if it's kind of like more of a sinister part where we're introducing the Darth Vader character, it will be like the dun dun dun, and then if we get to like the other people or the action, it'll be more frantic, and it's all in that one video, or this one. Okay, so I'm gonna take this one. Okay, I should have stopped. But here's the two. Okay, the two that I prompted a second ago. They're here. I just know that's not it. So. Okay. That's not it either. So. I can add words like theremin and stuff like in there, and it would probably render something better. This is one to play with. I mean, Udio, it can kind of come up with some really, I don't even know.
Down in this stinking hour. Down in this stinking.
Like when I was doing the Star Wars version, I was trying to find the right Delta Blues song, and these are some of those.
Down in this stinking outer rim. Well, it's running my.
This some of them are good, but every once in a while you get going and all of a sudden the lyrics just start garbling. They don't even make any sense. So, I mean, kind of a waste of time, but I'm finding a lot of times when I just need instrumental music, I come over here and try this out because Udio tries to polish things a little too much, and it does a really good job at what it does, but I think this one is still really raw, and I think it can come up with some really cool things. But I'm going to I'll go back to the video and the music. I will take that and bring it on in. And usually the music is going to go down quite a bit, so.
From the uncharted depths beyond imagination.
So I need it. He doesn't need to be talking so quick, so.
From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. So daring, so spectacular, it defies every law known to man. Join young Luke Skywalker, a humble farm boy with his eyes on the stars, who is suddenly thrust into a galactic struggle for freedom. Don't miss the breathtaking drama, the pulse pound.
And like here's a section here that would be better for like, I can probably find a better one, but especially in the B movies, you'll hear like a sound clip and it'll just kind of like abruptly end kind of with like a soft fade, and then it'll go into like the next music. It just doesn't even have any cohesion in its transition. It's just kind of like that, and then it's like to this, and so that's what's going to be really nice about having an audio that has different parts in it, because then I can just cut out little pieces and put them where they need to be. But for the most part, that's at least the start of it. So we've got our music track, and we've got some narration. I'll almost always finish out all the narration so I can have it and see how long it ends up being, because if I need to add anything, I try to keep it, I'm going to aim for at least the minute 30 mark. That's 90 seconds. So let me scroll that on the timeline, but I'm trying to fill in this section here. So once I fill all the narration in, I know if it's going to be a minute to 2 minutes, and then I know kind of what graphics I'm going to start needing, what images I'm going to start needing. So I think I've kind of at least explained, the scripting, the voice, and the music. So I think a lot of people are really interested in the imaging and the video. So let's get into that. Now, this is one of those things where it can be, I've got Midjourney open here. It depends on the project. I'll show you the tools that I use. Like this is Midjourney. Now this image right here is Midjourney, but it did not come from Midjourney. It came from Flux, and I use it in Midjourney for the edit tool. Midjourney, if people did not know, it does have a really good edit tool where you can bring in images from outside sources, bring them in here, and you can do things like adjust the aspect ratio. You can remove areas of the photo, and it can replace it with AI. So you can really use images. You can even use your own images from your iPhone or whatever, upload them, and you can actually edit inside of Midjourney now using AI to fill in the areas or replace, take out people or whatever. And it's pretty powerful. And I use it a lot of times, even though I've got Photoshop at my disposal. Sometimes it's easier for me to throw it into Midjourney, because once I bring in an image, I can edit it here, and it has this upscale to gallery. I like to keep all of my images at least like 4 megapixel whenever I bring them into any video generator, because anything out of Midjourney is usually about 1 megapixel, which is a little too small because all of my video output goes to 1080p. So I want it to at least be large enough to actually be a little larger than a 1080p resolution, which is 1920 by 1080 is 1080p at 16:9 aspect ratio. So this is just a really good tool to edit that aspect ratio and um, help you with, like I said, I can even show that here in a minute, but like your own photos, just to edit your own photos, take out something that you don't want. But now these are like the images I used for the last video, and they're not bad, but as far as my go-to for these days anyway, I really like Flux. And Flux is a it's actually Black Forest Labs is the people who create Flux, but you cannot create images with the Black Forest Lab website. They're just a developer. You have to use a third party. That's why I use it. This is called Krea. Krea is a it's kind of like a one-stop shop for different things. Like it's got Flux. You can actually use Flux, and you can use other different models. You can use Ideogram, which is a totally separate program. It's kind of like a Midjourney. It's kind of standalone. It does really good with text AI. Like if you have some prompts and you want to make like it say something on the screen, Ideogram does a really good job with that. But they have Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra, which is probably one of the best text to image models that's out there. And like the only problem I have with Flux for what we're going to be doing is a lot of the generations are not going to have that 1950s screen grab feel. So it looks a little cleaner than I need it to be. So I'm probably not going to be using Flux for these, but like I can say like Penguin in New York or something like that. This is the Flux. This is the base Flux model. We'll go with like a and they do really fast generations. But I mean, this is the base Flux model, which are really good. But then you've got this other one. It's Flux Pro 1.1 Pro Ultra, and it takes a little longer for these generations, but they're just phenomenal. This is that last video I did with the animals. Every single one of these videos or images came from this Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra model. And like I said, it does take a little longer. That's one thing you do have to do with this AI. You have to have some patience. But they really look like, they have like, I don't know, depending on the image, but that looks like, that looks like a photograph. It's pretty crazy. It doesn't have that kind of that AI feel to it on a lot of them that a lot of these do. This is one way to access the Flux models. It's called Krea, and Krea also has it has its own image or video generator. You can this is actually cool too, because you can actually do the same thing with Krea that you're doing, with the image generator. You can use Flux model, you can use Ideogram, you can use I think those are the two that you can use in there. But this one you can actually use the different, like they have the Hailuo, the Minimax, Hunyan, all these Chinese names I can't pronounce them. I apologize, I'm massacring them. But they have like O1 Live, they have Luma, they have Runway, they have Kling 1.6, they have Kling 1.1 Pro. And you can actually play around with these different video models in Krea. So, you don't have to sign up for Kling. Now, the problem with Krea, Krea is a subscription based, and you actually, up here, you can see it actually will show me, well, it usually does. Okay, I've used 50% of my credit so far. So you're using the credit. It's a credit-based system too, and some of these models, like to run a Kling 1.6 video in here, is going to be a lot of credit, so you're going to lose your percentage very fast. But excuse me. But Krea is just it's it's a really nice one to have because it does have a really nice editor as well. It's not as robust as Midjourney's editor. Excuse me. Okay. Another way to access the Flux model is a program called Replicate, and it's just a facilitator of these other programs that are out there, like this one right here. You have to have I don't know if people are familiar with GitHub, but you have to go to GitHub, and then you sign up through GitHub with Replicate, and here you can actually use several different image models and video models as well. But all the Black Forest Labs Flux models are on here, ideogram models on here. They got Recraft, they got Stability AI. This is probably Stability AI's best model too. It uses the same amount of credits here, or with this particular one, you pay per go. So like for every time I run an image for either Stability AI or the Black Forest Labs 1.1 Pro Ultra, it will charge me like 3 cents. So every time I run an image, 3 cents, 3 cents, 3 cents. So, but like, these are the kind of images that come out of this program, and they're amazing. I mean, it's just, I can get that full screen, but I mean, it's just, it just looks real. A lot of them kind of have that AI cloak to them. I mean, it just kind of has like this cartoony effect. Even if it's realism, it's kind of has that AI cloak on it, I say. But these just, I mean, they look, not that every one of them hits the mark every single time, but as far as imaging goes, like, I wish I had something like this when I first started this little journey, because I mean, I started when Midjourney was brand new. That's really what got me into this. I started with Midjourney, and I had to figure out a way to justify the expense. I'm like, I got to do something with this because I love playing with it, and I'm just playing, So, and it was so bad. Some of the early, like the version 3 or whatever. I think they're like version 6.1 on Midjourney, but I mean, you're getting to like this realism now that's just. It's just insane. I mean, like I said, not everyone's good. I'm trying to find some that wig out, but I tried to get it to do a Roadrunner, and it came up with this, but I wasn't very specific. I think I just said Roadrunner. So. But I mean, these images out of these are, like I said, these are the Flux. These are the Black Forest Labs Flux 1.1 Pro Ultra. Models, and they're just amazing. I think I had a diff2. I'm late. It just joined. Did you ever try the local models with Stability Diffusion, Comfy UI? I did not. I'm kind of still in my little box. I still wanting to venture out and try some of those things with Comfy UI, and I'm just still in this closed source stuff. The open source stuff still kind of confuses me. I get going and I'm just like, I got to set all this up on my computer locally and do all this, and I've got to flow these models, and then it's like I like a one button, put in the prompt and go kind of solution. But anyway, so I'm showing you these because they are great models, but for when I start making the prompts, I'm going to put them in all of these, and I'll show you the difference. Because as far as I'm concerned, at least for the project I'm going to do now, Midjourney just blows all these out of the water because it gives me the look that I want. If I'm jumping back and forth, it's gonna be really confusing when you're watching it, because you'll see like an image that'll look like it's from a 1950s, low budget movie, and then the next one will be like it's from it's like a 2025 version of a 1950 movie. It's polished, it's gonna look too clean, but let's start doing some image prompting. Let's go back to ChatGPT, of course, and I'm going to say, just tell it what I need. So now I'm going to need Do you need image prompts for an AI image generator? I need to establish each character for a character reference. So let's start. Let's start with Luke Skywalker. And one thing I do want to tell him, I want to say, make sure that you describe the character and don't use Star Wars words. That will influence the AI. So what I'm telling it to do is, like, I don't want it to say Darth Vader as a 1950s low budget, whatever. I want it to explain, and you'll see in a minute what I'm talking about. I want it to explain the character, like try to describe the character like you don't know who the character is, and that way it does a really good job of like describing Darth Vader. But you'll see the results. If I use the word Darth Vader, if I use the word lightsaber, it's automatically going to know I'm talking about Star Wars, and the results are going to be like Darth Vader or Luke Skywalker. I don't want that. I want it to be, these are this was pre-Star Wars. These are the people who made the movie pre-Star Wars. Star Wars didn't exist. They're doing their rendition of it. So let's start with, it gave me a prompt. One thing you got to watch out when prompts GPT, even though I can tell it not to put quotes and things, it's going to start doing it. It does it all the time. Anytime Midjourney sees quotes like this, it will try to generate text. So number one, we're going to make this a 16:9 image. One thing I do need to start off with is, I got a prompt. I've already saved it, so I would have it. Okay. And I can also tell ChatGPT to do this. I try not to, because the more tasks you give it, for some reason it starts to influence what it says. But to make these things kind of have that vibe, I always paste this little snip in here at the beginning. It says a screen grab of 1950s Super Panavision 70 movie. Actually, I'm going to take Super Panavision movie off. I'm going to just say, because if I start doing Super Panavision, I start getting these bars at the top and bottom a lot of the times. So I'll say a screen grab of 1950s, I'll say sci-fi movie, retro in color. And now we have our prompt. A wide-eyed teenage farm hand in a remote desert environment wearing a simple off-white tunic. Let's see. Let me take off the quotes and energy blades so we don't have the word energy blades somewhere in our image. Okay, I've got my mode is set to raw, landscape. I got fast mode on, still thought. Okay, we got everything ready set. I don't mess a lot with aesthetics. I don't change like the weirdness. You can get some really cool results, but it's not predictable enough for me. I leave like the weirdness and the variety down. Stylization's up very little, and this is the default. So if you play around any with Midjourney, you'll know what some of these do. But again, Midjourney is just one of these things you have to play with. But let's roll this and see what it comes up with as far as our Luke Skywalker goes. Okay, he's a little too young for me. I think probably because it's a teenager, and I don't like the lightsaber already. That looks too real. So, I can change the prompts myself, or I can say don't redo Luke and don't use teenager. Also delights the should just be a colored plastic tube. So that'll change that prompt. Okay, so they change it to young adult. We got, I don't even read through half of them. I just take them and paste them and see what I've got. Now, one of the bad things about not telling it to add this to every, actually, you know what? I'm gonna break my own rules. I'm gonna say, can you please add this text before every prompt for this project, and just give it the text. That way from now on it's going to have that every single time. Hopefully it doesn't influence my decision or its decision on the way it renders things. So okay, so it adds it. So I'm going to, repaste that. Make sure we don't have, before he had like a quotes, no quotes. So we'll let that run and we'll see what it looks like. I mean, these aren't bad. I mean, I could see him being a Luke Skywalker. Okay. He needs some work. I mean, this is the thing about these projects. You just re-roll them, re-roll them, re-roll them. And then, like say this was the one, but I need a little more in there. You know, this is where that editor comes from really handy, is you can you can really, I can go at 69. I can also I can bring the scale out, bring it up. Actually, shoot, he's got it does have one of those black bars here. We're going to run into that a lot. For some reason, it throws them on here all the time. I think because a lot of those movies had, the bars and everything across them. Okay, so now I've submitted the changes, and it should be back in the Create panel. So for some reason it just added the black bars back in, except for this one. But I mean, this could be a start. I mean, he could be our Luke Skywalker. I don't know if he's going to make the cut, but you can kind of see the look of it, at least. Look of all these kind of have that. I mean, it's just that old film grain look. And if I take this particular, I'm going to take this into Korea where I can do several flux models and we'll do a 16:9, and we'll do yeah, it's on the flux model, so we'll generate these. They're just too, they just look too modern. They don't have that feel to them. It just doesn't have that. I don't know, the tone of them's not right. You know, the almost like the other ones have been color graded to look like a 1950s. You know, you look between the two. Let me just jump back and see one between that and that. It's just, and even if I go into replicate, I'll go into replicate and do the same thing with. Let's see, I'm going to do the 1.1 Pro Ultra. I'm going to do the aspect ratio of 16:9, and I'm going to leave raw mode off and run that. And this is the best model. Like I said, this has got a level of realism that is just uncanny. But when it comes to like trying to squeeze out an old looking thing, it's just, yeah, even that one, it's just not not what I'm after. It's not that feel. It's not that look. So I mean, these are don't get me wrong. These, in fact, like for the other projects, especially if they look more modern, I can't even say I use Midjourney much at all. But like Midjourney does great at what it does, and I mean, it's these stylized images that you just that you're looking for a project like this. Okay, I'm gonna give up on Luke Skywalker. He's not ready yet, but I'm gonna go and tell it now. I'm gonna say, do Darth Vader, and it's going to describe Darth Vader in a way that you won't recognize Darth Vader. Now, if it said Darth Vader in it, I'll even show you. Because these models have been trained on Star Wars, quite a bit, so they know they're Star Wars characters. But let's go ahead and give it their. I didn't check to see if there were any quotes in here or anything. I don't see any. This is always the fun part, because you want to look, you want a low budget looking Darth Vader, or and what it comes up with based on the explanations. I mean, these are actually too polished. So I'm gonna go in here. I mean, they're kind of neat. I mean, this is that kind of has a really neat feel to it. But I'm gonna tell it. I'm gonna say, oh, we're about to run out of 01, so I'm gonna go back to GPT 4.0. I'm gonna say, make sure. I'll just say make him a little more low budget. Little Mo. So it's taken that, make sure there's no quotes. I tended to make this an hour, and I think I'm already at an hour and a half, and I haven't got to the video or anything else yet. So I might kind of speed this along a little bit, but I don't know, he's kind of, I'm not going to have to scold ChatGPT here. I'm going to say these are looking a little too polished. Make sure we keep the set design and characters to a very low budget B-movie feel. Okay, so we'll try that out and see where we see if he took our advice and put the problem out. And I'll do, matter of fact, while it's rendering, I'm going to say, well, even with all that, I don't think Darth Vader was in this prompt any, but Darth Vader came through. It must have figured us out. Some of these are, these might be kind of fun, but let me just try one. Let's see. Let's do R2D2. Actually, let's do C3PO. And he is obviously a man in a robot suit. Okay, so we've got try C3PO. I'll do R2D2, but he is a prop, so we don't get some kind of a crazy looking I don't know about that. C3PO might end up looking more like something like that. That's not too bad. They used to look a little bit too high budget for what I'm looking for. He says, "Don't worry about the time." I'm not worried about the time. I could be here all night, but I have a tendency to ramble, so yeah, keep me on task. Let's see what he came up with for Darth Vader or for C3P. No, R2D2. Yeah. Okay, like, I'm still not happy with Darth Vader. You just be honest with ChatGPT. Say, I'm still not happy. Not happy with the Vader. I want him to look like his costume is homemade. Let's try him again. Let's see what we can with Dart. Not too bad, but the R2D2 reimagined. Again, I didn't see if it used, but the moment you mention, like if I mentioned towering, imposing figure. If I say like Darth Vader like figure, I'll let that run, but we'll look at this. I'm gonna check his new work here. I do see some quotes in here, so I've got to take those out. I've tried to do things like tell him not to use quotes, and he listens for a while, and, or let's give it. See, everything was the same about this other prompt right here, but I used the word Darth Vader like, and that's all I get is Darth Vader. Doesn't matter what. So you got to tell it, don't use Star Wars words. Don't use lightsaber. Don't use the Force. Don't use, you know. Okay, that's kind of corny. Let's say do a stormtrooper. So we're starting to get. Did I did yeah, I did show you some of the, even like let me take like even the like even these, they just have that they just don't have that same feel. I would have to color grade it, even if I could get it to color grade to look like the other ones. It's just not the same. So that's why I'm staying with Midjourney, just to kind of reiterate that. But let's see what their take on the make sure there's no, yeah, let me tell it. Let me just try this. Make sure you avoid the use of and unless you are wanting text. I'll tell it, and it won't listen to me. So I don't know how many times I've gone through and just copied and pasted without looking, which I don't do. I don't even look. I'll let the image speak for itself. But it'll be here, and then in the background it'll say Star Wars, or it'll say like I don't know, buttons, or because buttons were in quotes because it's like saying they're buttons, and hopefully we got it honed in. Okay, let's see. Based on what it said, yeah, Stormtroopers probably need some work, but did we ever run? Yeah, we ran C3PO. Kind of funny because as I was playing around with this project, I'll show you some of the with some of the. I need to go back and see how I actually crafted the prompts, but let me see. Like, yeah, we got like these are some of the renditions I've had before, like R2D2. Kind of funny. This is whenever I told it was a person in a suit, so it didn't quite work. But then like some of the C3POs are pretty crazy looking. And then you got like some of these for Darth Vader were pretty hilarious because they're like use foil and everything else. So like some of these are ones that are. See, this is once you say Darth Vader's in a homemade Darth Vader costume, you get these kind of things. It's always Darth Vader, so that's why you would go in and tell it not to use Star Wars or not to use the characters' names or anything. I'll do one more just to see what. Let's see, do Chewbacca. Kind of curious to see what they've come up with Chewbacca. Okay. Oh, they're so unsure about that prompt. Let's see what. That's the thing about Midjourney is it's very Let's see, towering humanoid creature with shaggy, uneven fur. So the fur is clearly mismatched brown shag carpeting, patches doesn't allow the headpiece. Googly eyes, cartoonish snout. I think sometimes it thinks you're trying to create AI porn and it tries to stop you, but I don't know. I don't know. I wish it tells you what it was. We don't like this word. See. I can even actually, you know, in that last what might Midjourney be finding too offensive to create an image? Maybe the googly eyes. Okay, so it's going to read it. It's thinking about it, and it's going to give me a new prompt. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Who thought googly eyes would be offensive? Okay, it ran. So whatever it was is like, I didn't read its full description. Shag. Okay, maybe shag. That's a pejorative in over the pond, I guess. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they're looking for. I don't know. He might need some work, but it's just kind of funny. It's a funny start. Okay, so let's render something out. Let me see where I had my I'm gonna take this version of Darth Vader. Okay, well, I know everybody wants to get into some of the video generation, so let's just take a few of these, whether they'll be used or not, and I'll take this C3PO. Again, he's got. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna run this one into. I'm gonna save it out. I can run over a couple of post-processing things in this segment with Photoshop. Let's save him out as the images. This will be my brief Photoshop section. Photoshop does some amazing things. I mean, it's got AI involved. It kind of integrated into Photoshop now, so you can do generative AI filling. Let me. I don't know where the bridge. Okay, here we go. Okay, with the Photoshop, you just kind of highlight the areas, and you tell it, I want to generative fill. What would you like? I say nothing, and it'll just assume I want it to kind of fill in the voids. And it'll always come back with three options, so you can kind of, for the most part, I mean, we're just extending the thing. So I'll say that's good enough. I'll flatten it, save it, be done with it. Okay, this is my workflow whenever I'm bringing things out of Midjourney, because like I told you before, Midjourney is a small resolution, like 1 megapixel. So when I take them into Photoshop and I fix things like that, actually I'm going to open that back up because I want to get a little bit more. I can go add a little more to the bottom. And I tell it I want to do generative expand. Just tell it nothing and it will. It won't add. Now, if I add too much, you know, this is where the options come in handy, because it can make a big difference if you're adding a lot of pixels. I think this will be the best one. So we will let that go, save it, close it. Since I need to upscale this, I usually use Topaz Gigapixel AI. And it's basically an upscaler. You just, let me grab that image and throw it in here. It works really well. If you got people and you're upscaling people, it will help to really help define the face. There's no face here, so there's no face recovery, but this helps to get it up to doubling a 1 megapixel photo is going to get you 4 megapixel, a little bit more than 4 megapixel in size. So it's already set up to 2x scale. I have an auto turned on. It finds out it looks at the image and says this is the best model to use for this particular image. And then export that, save it to, I'll just save it to the original folder. And the thing I like about Gigapixel is I can go through all my images and keep them in an image folder. I can batch, upscale all of them. I can grab them all and drop them in here and tell it what I want to do, and I just let it run, and it'll batch each one of those out. So I can be doing something else while Topaz is upscaling all of these images to 4 megapixel, and then once it's done, then I can start going into, dropping those into the image generator, or the video generators, which we're going to do right now. Let me actually create a folder. Bear with me 1 second. I don't know. Okay. I'm not going to go into a whole lot of Photoshop here. I might come back briefly. I have some ideas with it, but I don't know. It's starting to already working on the 2nd hour here. So, okay, so let's go into, well, let's just show you all of we've got Runway. It's quick, so I can start that one. I'm going to use that one last because it's so fast. I'll let these render, and I'm going to go to Kling. I'll go to Minimax, and I'm going to open up also. Now Luma, this is like I said before, Luma, it was good for a while, and then it's like the outputs aren't even usable. But they do have a new version coming out. Well, they got Ray 2.0, and I think this is like Ray 1.6. So some of the things just don't like this is an image or a video I tried to do out of Luma, and this shark just, I don't know where he goes. But I'm gonna do each of the videos in these different ones to kind of show you what happens, but I will go back. I'll say I need a quick, I need a video prompt for C3PO. And I will usually grab, with ChatGPT, you can grab it and drop it down in there so he sees what the image is. I keep saying he. I don't know if that's sexist or what. It, she, I don't know. It always talks to me in a female voice, so I don't know. She. Anyway, we got, I tell it needs a video prompt for C3PO, and I gave it the images of C3PO. And it will, I'll just kind of copy the prompt and leave it as he says. And then let's go to Kling first. So again, Kling is my go-to these days because it's just, some of the stuff is just amazing. It's not always perfect. I mean, it's got like I said, every time I hit go button on a 5-second video, it's 35 cents. And I kept getting these, like the turtles, this turtle on my last video. Every time he turned, he all of a sudden had a tail fin, and I could not get it to stop. So I ended up having to take the turtle in Photoshop and dragging him all the way over to the left and rendering it so I don't see the tail. He didn't make it into the tail in time. So I reran that thing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, 9, 10, 10 times. 10 times. So $3 on a dang turtle. And it did the same thing every time. I tried other prompts like the negative prompts. I'd say tail fin. I'd say things that would not show the tail fin. Nothing works. So it's not perfect, but anyway, let's take our, I think I have it in the, okay. I'll drop the C3PO character in there. And I'm going to generate a 5-second. Okay, right now here's the settings. I am on Kling 1.6, which is their best model. You can use Kling 1.5, Kling 1.0, but 1.6 is their best model. Standard mode, I found it looks just like Minimax. It doesn't do nearly, the fidelity's not as great. It might as well use Minimax if you're going to use standard mode. If you go to professional mode, it is more expensive. Like this is a 20-cent run, or 20-cent run. This is a 35-cent run, so it's 35 credits for the professional mode at 5 seconds. 10 seconds will run you 70. So it's 70 cents if I wanted a 10-second video. I'm only going to do one. You can have it do up to 4 renditions at a time. So, I mean, that's cha-ching for Kling. But I'm going to run it professional mode, 5 seconds. And it's going to take about 4 minutes. So we'll go over and I'll do the Minimax. I will create I'll take the same guy, drop him in there, same prompt. The thing I like about this one is I can go up to 5 generations at one time. It'll run 2 concurrently, and it'll keep 3 in the queue. So I can run these and go. Now, it says 60 credits. I do subscribe to the unlimited plan. So, like I said, I can run these over and over again. I can run these all night long. But I'll show you why sometimes, like, this is the mixed bag. Like, I wanted the Stormtrooper in this video to, like, accidentally knock over the coffee. And, you know, some of these generations are just like, you know, they start out well and then all of a sudden they just, like, you know, magically bring coffee out of nowhere and more things morph, and it's just not, it's nothing I can use. Even some of the simpler prompts, like, I mean, a guy just kind of like morphs out of the toy aisle there and everything. It's just kind of insane. So, but sometimes it does, you know, like some of the, I think I used I think I used one of these. Like I think I used this one for the video. That was the shot. Kind of had it blowing in the wind. So I mean, it's not all bad. And I got to use this one without paying 35 cents for a little piece of B-roll. You know. So I mean, I always run things through to see how they'll work. But for a lot of like this, it just took it upon itself to turn around and start looking through, and it's not all gold. You know, it's just. This one's very, I don't want to say useless because I do use a lot of it out of Minimax, but sometimes it just, I don't know, they just wig out, start going crazy. I don't even know what's going on. But, okay, we're running we did run the prompt, correct? No, we did not run the prompt. Or did we? Yeah, we did. We got 2 running. Okay, I'm going to go to Luma. I'm going to try the original Dream Machine. I'll paste the same text. I'm going to put my same guy in there. The thing I do like about Luma is you got in frame, mid frame, you know, beginning frame, in frame. So if I had it doing something, I could make it in. Otherwise, I'm just going to let it rip, see what it has going on with this. And finally, we will have, I thought I did Runway, but I guess I did Luma twice. Runway. We'll start out the same way. Now, Runway does not listen to your prompts at all. In fact, what this will probably do is a slow motion version of the robot, maybe making some motions and maybe doing a little turn. It does have some camera controls, so I can have it kind of do like I can have it kind of do like I can have it do a slow pan out, like a zoom out. I can have it maybe do like a slow pan or something like that. Not much. A little bit goes a long way with these camera controls. I'll do one with it, one without it. I want to clear the camera controls. So now no camera controls are used. And I'll generate another one. The thing about this particular program is it's so stinking fast. I'll do a 10-second one here. Again, I've got the unlimited plan with that. This is the one that I bought the full year for. So I dumped a lot of cash into this one just because I thought I was going to be using it all the time. And then, you know, things evolve, things change. Like these are already ready to go. Yeah, that's pretty much what I expected out. And it's not bad. I mean, it's, you know, it's usable. Let's see what it came up with in here. Like, I don't know, I started throwing stuff in there that wouldn't happen in a 50s B movie. Let's see what this one had here. Again, I don't know why this, maybe it's in the prompt, I don't know. But usually Runway ignores any prompt. I don't understand. There we go. That's not terrible. I mean, it could be, I mean, usually I'm using, like, this is a 10-second clip, so I might use 2, 3 seconds of this clip. You know, it depends. But that's this is Runway. And let's check and see what Luma came up with. Usually these go like crazy. I get trying to get a bigger screen. I don't see the option here. I don't know. I mean, it just does like a slow zoom in. I don't know what it's got going on up here in its head, but let's check out. Okay, this is Minimax, so it kind of took it upon itself to give it the eyes, and you know, the motion's kind of fun. I like what it's doing. I mean, that might actually make the cut. You know, it could I could see it having some voiceover on the top of it, and it's kind of fun. like I said, out of all of them, I mean, I could use this one, and then Kling is going to be probably the best as far as fidelity wise. I mean, just look at like the reflections it does inside the steel suit. I mean, the arms right there. It's just everything is there. I don't know if that's, well, that's in that one too. But I guess the reflections have kind of been worked out with AI. But that's not to say that all of them are. I don't see a whole lot going on in the reflections in this one. So there's a little bit. But so as far as like your image to video options go, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag. Not everybody is going to want to subscribe to 4 different video generators, but I mean, each one of them has its own use. I probably won't be subscribing to Luma until they get the new version, the Ray 2 up. But you got, you know, Runway again. I'm locked in for a year, so I mean that's going to come up in like June or something like that. But it does, you know, it doesn't do a bad job. It's just there's some of the. Let me see if I can go back to some of the old. Like some of the older generations. I don't have anything that's. Actually, this is one I did use. I did use this particular model for the video with the animals. It ends with the relaxed care and don't believe everything you see on the internet, Abraham Lincoln. It was all done here because I could do. The thing I like about Runway is I will show you. You've got the option to do multiple images. Like once I drop one in here, I've got another keyframe and another keyframe. So with this one, I had 3 different images. I had the relaxed Karen with nothing below it. And then I had the next image had relaxed Karen, don't believe everything you see on the internet. And that was in here. And then the last one was the Abraham Lincoln at the end. So all 3 of them go through there. So it knew to do a generation. So it knew to write out the text because it saw from one image to the other one. It's the same, but they're different. So add the different stuff in a like a script. It knew what it was. It knew it was text, and it should kind of write out like text. So it really did a good job with stuff like that. But because I could not get Luma to do the same thing. It just did this. It just kind of rolled it out because I could do a beginning and an end, and that wasn't anywhere near what I wanted. So anyway, let's just take, for instance, now we've got our video. Let's just say we're going to use C3PO. I'm going to save him to a video. Oh, I've already started a video folder. Okay. So now we've got now back on our timeline, we've got a video to start throwing into these. Of course, this is not where he's going to go.
From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new kind of space adventure. From the uncharted depths of a galaxy beyond imagination comes a new.
So you can kind of see, you take these clips and, you know, as you go along, you know, you just kind of populate the whole timeline. Sometimes, well, I did not download that without watermark. That's something you need to make sure you do that too. That's one of the benefits of having a paid model with or a paid subscription to like Kling. I can download without watermark. I didn't do that. Let me see. This one is 2. Then, like, if we were on, if say we're going to, I think I had, yeah, I did have him.
The purpose of a profession is to fulfill the personal wishes of a prospect.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Oh, didn't use the right voice.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
See, we got our, well, I'll go with the narration. So, like, if we have a section of our
Known to man.
So now when we have like some voiceover stuff, we will bring him in to the audio timeline here.
Known to man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker, a humble farm boy with his eyes on the stars. Known to man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker, a humble farm boy with his...
So that's how you would, that's how you just kind of pair up the audio for these, because these videos you're getting out of Kling and everything, they're not, they're not, they don't have any kind of sound with them. They are coming along where they're actually looking at the video and they're actually trying to AI incorporate sound, which is really cool. I'm really looking forward to when all that happens. I'm kind of behind on the, let's see, 22 attempts. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, the attempts, yeah, you re-roll. I mean, re-rolling is just part of the game. I try to re-roll very little on Kling because, like I said, every time I hit that button, I hear like cha-ching, and it's just not fun. But as soon as I look at it, I'm like, I know you can do it. So just one more, please, just one more. And going back to, since 11 Labs was open, I'll just do back to the sound effects. I'll do sound of clinking metal. I think I've already got it set to 5 seconds, so it's going to be the same length of that video, which is, the clip is 5 seconds. Let me see. I'll say I'll just say sound of a metal man walking, see what it... It's all about layering. It's kind of, with me anyway, it's just... See several sheets of sheet metal clinging around. See if I can get some kind of a sound out of that. That's kind of... I'm going to save this one out. Like with that, I'll put it underneath the...
Known to man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker.
So you kind of have like, you know, it just kind of adds a layer, I think, if I turned it up even.
Known to man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker.
Doesn't work. It's not going to make the cut, but I'm just trying to show you that, you know, that's how I usually do this last. It's usually after I'm all done, I go through the video and I hit scenes and I'm like, what kind of sound would be going on right now? Just like this Darth Vader sound is going to be like,
A humble farm boy with his eyes on the stars.
so I'll just basically make duplicate copies of that one. And like Vader's voice is going to be like...
Walker, a humble farm boy with his eyes on the stars, who is suddenly thrust into a galactic struggle for... Farm boy with his eyes on the stars.
So that you kind of see how the sound effects just kind of add a little extra layer into the video itself. You got the you got the visuals, you've got the music, and you've got these little sound effects. And I know a lot of them probably just go unnoticed a lot of times. I spend so much time on. That's always the fun part for me because it's always like the spice you kind of add. But you know, for me, it's just kind of I don't know. It adds that extra depth to the video that, you know, I make these for myself mainly. It's so it make myself laugh. So if I can do an extra little thing, then to me it's enjoyable. But let's see, yeah, runway. I don't know if you're paying for the runway. This is for Drew Hall. I don't know if you pay for the runway like monthly or if you have the unlimited plan, but I mean, some of the unlimited, it's nice to be able to, like the Mini Max, it's nice to be able to roll and roll and roll until maybe it would get something right, and then I can go from there. But trying to think of what, I've kind of covered a lot of the, let's see, something else I might use in Photoshop. Something we can do, you know, actually I did have some, I was just playing around with this earlier. I was going to make some up ahead of time, but I did not keep them. Oh, maybe I did keep them. Let's see. Like I have these cheesy. Let me duplicate him so I have some place to put over the graphics. Like these cheesy graphics, I'm gonna put on them. Okay, like I've got some, I just went into Photoshop and I made some little, you know, some, took a font, like a 50s font, kind of threw these on there, and I will, kind of like bring in animation for these, you'd probably like, they probably like do like a, I don't know. That's the thing about some of these programs, they're so robust, you just looking for like a rotate in. Okay, here we go.
Daring.
Here we go. And the outs are probably like, I don't know if they have a rotate out. Let's see. Yeah, they have a
Oh, no.
Okay, so we'll end up like
Spectacular.
with
So daring, so spectacular. It defies every law known to man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker.
Okay, well that's kind of a a really janky scene that kind of gives you an idea of kind of the feel that I'm going for with all these. Trying to think if there's any other. I mean, in a nutshell, that's obviously. Here, I thought I was gonna sit here and make the video with everybody on. I'd be here for days. Let's see. But anyway, I can answer any questions right now about any of it. I mean, as far as from start to finish, I think we covered. I think I was going to be one thing I did not cover was Topaz has a video AI. Also, will I use it all the time if I bring images or videos out of anything but Kling, because Kling videos come out at 1080p. Everything else comes out at 720p. I will usually run them through, like this just happens to be up here because it was the last one I ran out. This is the one that came through Runway, and I did an export from this one to. I just upscaled it 2 times, so it's actually larger than 1080p. Or yeah, actually the final size is larger than 1080p, but it gets rendered down to 1080p in CapCut. CapCut actually, when you export, it's supposed to help to upscale anything that's lower than the output resolution, but I don't know. I don't, I think Topaz is a tool for that job. I think in CapCut, I think it's just kind of an afterthought. It's kind of a nice thing to have. I don't think it's as effective as taking your videos out. You can really I could upscale images out here. Shoot, I could go to 8K, and I can do a lot more. Like I can add slow motion, and it will add all of the missing frames to do slow motion, and it really looks good. Topaz does a really good job at what it does. I mean, I've used Topaz products for years. Just started with the Gigapixel and the AI video, but I've used a lot of their plugins in the past for my photography business, and they're really, really great plugins for Photoshop and standalone. These are all standalone applications right here, but I think it's a great tool to have as far as getting the best resolution into your project, because the output, if you have some low resolution stuff, especially if it's below 720, it's gonna go from scene to scene, and it's gonna look low resolution in the next scene. Plus, I like having a high resolution because I can go into CapCut and like say I wanted to take this section here and go from like start out right here with the video, and then kind of do like a pan in to this guy. It's at a higher resolution.
To man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker.
At the highest, spot, which is 130%. I think I had it up to the top, 130%, 125%, and it's not going to look too bad. So
Daring, so spectacular. It defies every law known to man.
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker, a humble farmer.
And sometimes whenever I get videos in, I think, well, I like the way that they did something to the video, like they made it. I like the way it rendered, but it's backwards in my opinion. And you can take things like this and just quickly reverse the clip, so then it
Law known to man.
does this. And then
Oh my, what is ever going to happen?
Join young Luke Skywalker.
so now that clip is reversed. So like if something happened and he was walking backwards for some reason, I could flip it and make him walk forward, or if I wanted to, if it does like a slow pan out and I want to do a slow pan in, I just reverse that and it goes right in. That works as long as you're not doing anything with people walking or anything that's any directional stuff. Because, obviously you have a slow pan in and people are walking forward, and then you flip it, then slow pan out, people are going to be walking backwards. It just doesn't make any sense. But, well, that's in a nutshell. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the video generations, the audio generations, the music, anything we've covered so far, or anything that you don't know anything about the software themselves, the companies. I know I really just kind of hit the high points of a lot of it. This is my first live under the belt though, so maybe my next live I'll be a little more directed, and I can kind of know where to go with these things and make it flow a little bit better. Maybe have some things ready, but I really wanted to go off the cuff, just to kind of hit it the way I work it. And I'm very scattered. I mean, I made that graphic to promote this live because I wanted to make it like a messy artist desk. That's kind of how I feel all the time when I make these videos. I've got tabs open and scattered everywhere. And like I said, I've got 3 monitors. I've got stuff on every monitor that I'm dragging and dropping here and there. I'm waiting for this to render, and I'm doing this over here, and then I'm doing this over here, and it's pretty crazy. So I mean, it's just any questions anybody has, that's why I'm doing these labs, is because I would do it a lot, and I get private messages all the time, and I try to explain it, and I'm like, this needs to be alive. So I would say things like, follow my YouTube, because I'm going to start doing educational content. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And for the longest time, I'm like, I'm telling these people that, and I'm not doing it, even though it's my intention. So I finally made an honest guy of myself. I want to get on here and do these things and kind of give back to a lot of the people who've inspired me. So let's see. Let me see what we got here. We got some questions. Let's be posted on your YouTube after. Yeah, it'll be up there. I think when the live ends, I think if you go to my channel, it will be in the, if you got videos, you got shorts, I think you got lives as well. So it'll be in there. And also a lot of the prompts that I use to create my scripts, I'm going to go into the community section and make a post. I think I can do this. I'm still new to all this too, but I think I can make a post and just post in, I can paste in the scripts I use for ChatGPT to generate scripts. I'll even put in the script that helps me create scripts. So it's the outside script that I said, I want to say this to ChatGPT, make it the best. So it's kind of one of those things where the better your prompting is to ChatGPT, the better the output is going to be. So I will definitely put those in there after this is over. But yeah, it should be up. I did the live last night because I was intending to go live last night, and I was not able to, so I made a quick little stinger video and put it up and let it run for like 20 minutes, and I took it down and it's still up. So I assume that this one will be shared also live. So okay, Discord, I know Discord because when I started Midjourney, you had to access Midjourney through Discord. Discord just confuses the hell out of me. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. It's just, it's just another thing. I started doing, I started sharing things on all social media platforms. I do have an X profile. I have, the Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and I got into YouTube, and then I started I got into Reddit for some reason, and post stuff on a couple of some things on Reddit, and it's just, I don't know. It's like Discord is always, I understand I don't understand joining this and joining that. I don't know. Maybe I need to dig into that. There's been several things that I need to bite the bullet and jump in and do it. But I wouldn't even know how to find you on Reddit or on to Discord, to be honest with you. Old dog, new tricks, though. I think I can learn something. I don't know. This AI stuff's taking me for a whirl, so. If there's not any other questions, I think I will probably try to cut this off. Now I'm going on 2.5 hours, so I'm not even sure how long the lag is, so. Yeah, I know a lot of them use the Discord, and in fact, there's a couple of things that I do go back to Discord for. There's a program on there called Face Swap, and I kind of learned about it whenever I was on Discord through using Midjourney, and you can upload a face, and it helps to swap the face. It's like an AI face swap generator. I do that whenever I'm at wit's end trying to get character consistency, and Midjourney won't help me out. So, oh, you're looking for the 8 Mile video? I wanted to make it. Several months ago, but I'm glad I waited because everything's so much better now. I just got a funny idea for. It's kind of a reimagining of Eminem, but he's not a rapper. He's a doo-wop singer, and he's gonna. It's gonna be funny. I don't know. Yeah, I want to keep doing these. I actually want to start setting up a time. I don't know if it's a monthly thing or whatever, but I can definitely put together. Again, I wanted to make this off the cuff when I started it, and as I went more and more into it, I'm like, a lot of the things I didn't really realize how much legwork goes into doing this one little thing and this one little thing, and maybe I can have things prepared and I can rifle through them a whole lot faster. I think people can learn a lot more if I can cover more in a shorter amount of time. I think I can at least keep attention spans longer if I do that. But well, I do appreciate those of you who did show up. I know if anybody does see this on the replay, I think the chat is still live after the fact, so I'll continue to answer questions. And again, I'll try to figure out the best way to let people know that I will be doing these lives again. So if you aren't, subscribe to the channel, and I think you should get notifications whenever I post anything about when I'll be doing this. And if not, find me on the different social medias, whatever you want to call them. I'm all there, so you can contact me that way, and feel free to reach out with any other questions, because again, this is kind of one of the things I just love doing. We got into photography and did photography for years, and I like the business of photography, but one of the things that kind of filled my soul was to actually go around and teach Photoshop and teach people. I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into learning what I do for a living, and it's always been great to give back, because people were always there to help me once upon a time, and I've always appreciated them for that, and I always like to pay that forward. So, all right, well, again, my first stream. I don't even know how to end the stream, but I'm going to figure it out. So thanks everybody again for spending this couple hours with me, and I hope we can do it again real soon. Thanks so much.